number 5, the Right Honourable Winston Peters.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My question is to the Prime Minister and asks, does he stand by all his statements?
Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, yes.
Right Honourable Winston Peters.
Was he aware, before government's delayed licence fee deal with MediaWorks was approved, that it had, that is MediaWorks, a substantial and escalating tax bill that was not being met?
Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, no.
Supplementary question, Right Honourable Winston Peters.
When he was told, as it's reported in Hansard, 27 September 2012, that the company was, as the market said, going belly up and tens of millions of dollars of taxpayers' money was going to be lost, what did he do about it?
Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Well, Mr. Speaker, it's not for me to wade into a publicly owned company and seek to restructure them. What the government did do was, when there was the issue of licences that had to be paid for up front, and it was obvious that MediaWorks, amongst a number of players at the time, might have had difficulty in actually meeting that cash flow, the government looked to spread those payments over a period of time. It did so by ensuring there was security over those licences, and it did so also ensuring that there was an above-market interest rate. That was actually done to protect...
Point of order.
Point of order. Right Honourable.
Speaker, that has got nothing to do with my question. I'm talking about...
Order. I'll hear the point of order in silence.
I'm talking about a growing, then escalating tax bill that got to $22 million at the time of receivership. That's what I'm talking about.
Order. The supplementary question, as I remember, was when he was told such and such in the House sometime in December, what did he do about it? The Prime Minister said, well, he didn't do anything, but then went through a number of things his government did. And he was still answering that question when the member rose to his feet to interrupt it. The member has further supplementaries if he wants to use them.
Yes, supplementary question. Why is MediaWorks being allowed to go into what has been described as, quotes, a technical receivership, in quotes, to dodge its tax debt of $22 million when that is not available to other taxpayers in this country, be they company or individuals, even though they may be mates of Mr. Stephen Joyce?
Order.
Okay,
Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Firstly, it's very important to understand that there's clear separation between the responsibilities held by the Inland Revenue Department and ministers of the Crown. And the member knows, as a very long-standing member of Parliament, it would be quite wrong of me to engage myself as Prime Minister in the tax affairs of MediaWorks. And if I did so, the member would be on his feet in this House saying things. The second point I'd make is it's not for me to either understand fully the financial circumstances that the receivers face at MediaWorks, but I can say this one general point, and it may well apply. I haven't looked deeply into MediaWorks, and it's this: that it's highly likely that in this particular case, when it comes to this particular tax liability, it is an unsecured creditor. It's also highly likely that the secured creditors, that are the banks that are owed a considerable amount of money, have now put the company into liquidation. Even if they didn't do this particular form, that the unsecured creditors would not have their liability met. So whatever way it happens, it's highly likely that, in fact, the tax bill wouldn't be met by MediaWorks because the companies are fundamentally broke.
Supplementary question, the Right Honourable Winston Peters.
Why is the Prime Minister acting on behalf of 6 foreign-owned banks with respect behind MediaWorks by claiming that he cannot... Oh, Mr. Speaker, can I ask this question without Stephen Joyce evincing his embarrassment at his mates and crony capitalism being found out?
Order. It would be certainly helpful if there weren't any interjections from this side of the House. Would the member just ask his question?
I'm trying to.
Point of order. Honourable
Mr. Speaker, I think when you were on your feet, you were referred to as an old clown by the Minister of Economic Development.
I didn't hear it, and it's not useful for the order of this House for the member to raise that as a point of order. Would the Right Honourable Winston Peters please continue with his supplementary?
He meant a ball crown, talking about himself, but look...
Order. If the member wants to ask his question...
Mr. Speaker, I am entitled to ask the question.
Yeah,
Your job is to stop them chipping me at the time.
The member is entitled to ask his question, but he's not entitled to start it the way he started that question.
Point of order, Mr. Speaker. Point of order.
Point of order.
Is it the ruling of this House that you can actually get a question out without constant interruptions from the front bench of the National Party? Or is that allowed,
No.
including insults as well?
I'm trying to assist the member. I have told the front bench of the National Party they are not to interject. The member then rose and started with an interjection or a comment that was unnecessary to his question. I said that was out of order. I'm trying to help the member to have the opportunity to ask his question if he so wants to do so.
Supplementary question.
Sorry?
Why?
Order.
Mr. Speaker, did you hear that interjection?
No, I didn't. If a member wants to ask his question, he should do so. Otherwise, we are moving to the next question.
Yeah. Point of order, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, when Paula Bennett interjected, you looked at her and called it to order. You can't say that you didn't hear her.
It's a matter of which interjection he's referring to. That's the order. If the member, for the last time, wants to ask his question, he will rise to his feet and ask the question. There will be absolute silence from this side, otherwise a member will leave the chamber. And if the question is not asked, then we are moving to the next question.
Supplementary question to the Prime Minister.
Supplementary question, the Right Honourable Winston Peters.
Why did the Prime Minister and his government not move to put this outfit into statutory receivership, thereby enabling their recovery of a tax bill of now $22 million, which was agreed by MediaWorks when they signed off with IRD and in the Alesco case? Why is he allowing them to get out of this by using a technical receivership that is not available to the balance of New Zealand companies?
Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Well, firstly, Mr. Speaker, I don't have any technical advice, or any advice, should I say, about ultimately whether the company could have been put into statutory receivership. At no point was I asked to do that. Secondly, there is nothing specific or unique, as I understand it, to the way that MediaWorks is acting in relation to its receivership. That is not specific to that company. Any company could technically do that. And thirdly, like I said to the member earlier, it really depends on how much debt is owed in terms of secured creditors, whether the IRD would have received anything.
Question number 6, Honourable David Parker.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My question is to the Minister.